Hey all. Alright, so this one should be a quick one. It kind of goes on the heels of the last one. So in the last video, we took all the styles that we had been defining inline and we put them all out to a style.css file, which is more like how you'd see like a normal web app doing it. So if we go back to main, we see that we have the style tag here. Great. But if you look at the JavaScript, we still have this defined in line like this, which isn't pretty. It doesn't offer us the same intelligence. It's not as reusable or maintainable. So let's see what we can do here is we can we'll create a separate file just like style.css. We'll call this, for lack of a better term, script.js for now. We'll paste this in, and like before, we're going to have the double brackets everywhere, which we don't actually need. So we'll just remove some of those for right now. And then this one. Then everything should work. Okay, great. Now if we go back to main.py, what we'll do is we'll go back to the top, and you see here like how we got this CSS. So we basically just read the entire file and stored that as a string. So we're going to kind of do the same thing for JavaScript. So we'll say with open script.js and f, and then we'll make a new variable called JS content, and that's going to be the same sort of idea, f.read. Okay, and then we have that. We don't need that in a markdown widget right now, since the only place we're using it is our HTML component. So let's go down to the HTML component, and you see like we have the style tag here, and we reference the CSS content. So in a similar vein, we'll start a script tag and then say /script. And then interpolate, this will just be JS content. Okay, so now let's start the actual server. So pipenv run dev. And bring that over. Okay, I just wanted to refresh it just to make sure everything was running. Okay, so this is expected. If we start selecting people, we see the total athletes. Great. But for the height and the age here, we just see NaN, which means not a number, which that's an error that JavaScript will put out. Now, the reason that that's happening is because if we look in script.js, we're using these Python templating variables, or this string interpolation that we had before when it was inline JavaScript, and we can't necessarily do that right now. So we need to actually find the equivalent sort of JavaScript for that. So one way that we can handle this is by getting the indexes that are on car.index, which I'll just show you. That could be something like you can use something called object.keys and then go card.dataset, and that would give you the actual keys to it. So you could access like index 0 and index 1. That would give you the actual access values. What I want to do, since I want to still be able to reference this by name, is what we're going to do is over in main.py, we're going to just create two variables before we define the JS content and say const x-axis equals, and then we just set that to the string of x-axis, because that's what we need, right? We need like an event like run 400 or Helen or something like that. We need that stored in these. So we'll do the same for y-axis. So y-axis equals string and then y-axis. So this is kind of, I guess, a hybrid solution a little bit, because we are using some inline JavaScript here to be able to actually get the variables. So now our script will actually have access to two variables, x-axis and y-axis. So we can just define those like normal variables here. So we'll just get rid of those, and then we'll bring up CrossFit data again. And we can remove the dev tools. And yeah, when we select, then it still adds up the numbers as we expect to happen. Alright, so that is good for that one. This is just a quick video just to show you how you can get some of this inline JavaScript content into its own file, which again gives you the huge advantages of being able to, of your editor giving you a bunch of intelligence and stuff like that. So thank you for watching.